Hi, people. So, first of all, let me welcome all of you in this very video. I'm not really used to saying this introduction that I just used right now. I'm more on the side of using another particular, set of sentences or phrases that I used. Not on YouTube for sure. I don't do that. That's why I was saying that I'm not very familiar with with this particular section, with this particular introduction. I mean to say, I use a different set of sentences, but since it's not on YouTube, so I'm not using it for now. Well, the bottom line today is, me discussing about those 2 or 3 weeks wherein I completely went, silent on let's say a platform. I can't even use X as an example because there's literally a platform called X right now. Let's say that there was a platform wherein people just used to talk with each other in order to talk, uh, of course, in order to talk with them, and also in exchange of improving their English communication skills. I used to be on such platform. There were a number of them, but for the sake of keeping it simple, let's just say just there was one such platform. Now, for the most part, I was spending most of the time, talking with people, spending hours every day, throughout the week. I was there for most of the time. While I was there, I was doing that stuff. Investing time every day, talking with people, participating in conversations, and also conducting live streams over there, in a hope to improving my English communication skills, in a hope to attaining that level of fluency that I was hoping for, I was aiming for, I was seeking. I did it for the most of the time while I was there. A small section of me being part of, or me being involved, or let's just say me being part of that particular platform or application was invested, uh, such a way that I was not using the platform. I was just a part of the platform. I was rather, following a separate way, not using the platform to improving my English communication skills, but rather following a separate approach, following a separate method to, again, in a hope to improving my English. This method I came to know recently. I'm talking about the past, not now. Of course, I know it very well now. But back then, I came to know it for the very first time. I explored it for the very first time, and I went completely into it. I didn't try to rush. I didn't think of doing it for the sake of getting results. Yes, I mentioned earlier that I was doing it in hope of improving my English, but when you expect a lot of from someone, or let's say from anyone, uh, and when you don't get it, you feel hurt, you feel broken. In my case, I was not expecting a lot from this particular practice. I was rather just enjoying it. I was just doing it for the sake of enjoying it or exploring it. I used to talk with people every day. I took a hiatus for about 2 or 3 weeks from that platform. I didn't talk with anyone. I didn't even open the app at all for those 2 3 weeks straight. What happens then? I return, I go back to the app, I initiate a live stream, I start talking. I certainly don't realize that, what all changes occurred to my voice, what all changes occur to my accent, what all changes occur to my way of speaking, or the way of forming or constructing sentences. I did not realize that until I got to hear from other people who joined my live streams, and they started to tell me, what have you done to your voice? What have you done to your accent? What have you done to your way of speaking? See, this becomes really funny to someone like me who has sometimes, not always, but sometimes hard time acknowledging that this actually is a skill. Because one day I see the people that I interact with, none of them speaking the way I speak, or none of them speaking as efficiently as I as myself, or as someone that I know who speaks really really good. And the other day I see people not really giving any value to someone who is so efficient in this language communication method. So it comes as funny to me sometimes that should I even be talking about this? And then I see on various platforms people are really wanting to find someone to share such experiences, really wanting to find someone to help them out, to assist them out. So that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing this. So yes, these people told me, said that they are able to find this change. How? What did you do? How did your accent change from this to this right now? And I was surprised. Now, that very application also provided the feature of what do we call recording, and it used to happen automatically. Now, once the live stream was over, heard, I listened to the recording, and I was also shocked. Not like who am I listening to, because I knew how my voice sounded like, but it's similar to you joining gym, you're doing gym. I did it. You cannot say it right now looking at me, but I did it back in the days when I was straight. Uh, that's what not I meant to say. I meant to say that when I was doing it constantly, 6 7 months straight. That's what I wanted to say. So when I did it for 6 7 months straight, in between, past 3 4 months, uh, I could realize, I could notice the changes to my chest, or let's say to some extent to my bicep. But I never really thought of did my back actually develop until I got to know it, realize it. The moment once I took a picture of it, the back, and I realized that it got stretched. It got the V shape. I never had a V shape. So only then I got to know, okay, changes are being made, although I'm not aware of it. Similarly, the things that happened to me when I was absent for 2 3 months straight, not months, but 2 3 weeks straight from that application, changes happened to me. Changes occurred to my voice, to my pitch, the voice pitch, referring to the voice, and to my accent, drastically, rapidly, that I couldn't really catch at that very moment. And when these very people told me, I acknowledged them. I truly did. Why am I even talking about this? I'm talking about this because this is what it takes. There are certain individuals who are just exploiting such people who who basically want to improve their communication skills in English. So they're selling various courses which do not make any sense. uh, because this skill is actually not a skill that you get by following hundreds of methods. It's just how it used to be in the old school, listening. So that is the bottom line for today. For this very video as well, listening was that very method that I used. um, See, again, I cannot really say that this works for 100% of the people, but I believe wholeheartedly that it would work for most of the people, because it's all natural. You're not forcing yourself. You can listen to anything that you want, but make sure that you listen to quality English. Make sure that you listen to quality speakers, those who are able to speak the way you want to speak in future. So that has to be the core narrative that you go with. Because you can't be listening to anyone and then later on you say that I've listened to this guy for 2 months, and I didn't learn anything. So that's one constraint that you got to follow, which is to listen someone who actually speaks the way you want to speak in future. That's one thing. How does it help you, listening? It does help you in various forms. Not only that, it directs your pitch, your voice, in a certain manner that once your brain starts to get these signals, after a certain period of time, when you be listening to such inputs for constant in constant intervals, it gets these signals effectively. um, and then whatever you can think of, let's say vocabulary, you'll get to learn vocabularies from listening. The very same person that you're listening to, they'd be using a number of vocabularies that you haven't heard of. And when you come to hear them being used, the moment you start to search for its meaning, you'll get the meaning, and then also you'll get the live representation, you'll get the live practical, because you are listening to that person using the words in front of you while you listen to them. So the vocabulary is done, your accent slash pitch, your way of speaking, you can fit all of that into one. That'll be done as well. So major part of your spoken English would be done just using listening, without you having to speak with anyone. Not for the entirety of your life, of course. You'd have to speak with other people in order to improve, to compete with them, in order to actually see, in order to see your capabilities. You'll have to speak with them. But without before you speak with them, you must be prepared. Listening prepares you. That is the thing I'm talking about. Listening does prepare you to a level wherein then, for moving forward, you can compete with people, you can vie with them. And yes, I can go on for hours, speaking about the advantages of this practice known as listening. uh, I reckon this is enough for now. So thank you everyone for listening. We'll meet again next time.